Nesta was trained in dance from a very young age. She loves it, and music. Not in the way we enjoy a waltz or a gavotte, but in the way that performers make an art of it. When Nesta dances, she could bring an entire ballroom to a halt.
Hey guys, it's Cass and welcome to another one of my beginner-friendly crochet tutorials. Before we get into it, I just want to say a huge thank you to my friend Pri for filming the intro to this video. If you want to see more of her work, I linked her Instagram down below and her social media agency in case you'd like to work with her on a special project. I also want to say a huge thank you to Veronica for modeling the Nesta Shrug. She was such a champion during the shoot. I was getting her to do turning split jumps in a row many times, and she never once complained. Now, before you start crocheting the Nesta Shrug, there are two things you need to know. One, the written pattern for this design is linked down below in the description, and it is completely free. Merry Christmas. It comes with measurement calculations, stitch diagrams, a secret coupon code, and overall very in-depth instructions. The second thing you need to know is that if crochet athleisure or beginner-friendly crochet tutorials or designs inspired by your favorite romantasy book series are your thing, I highly recommend you subscribe because those are my things and I love creating those style videos. So if you don't want to miss out on any of my future content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. All right, without further ado, let's learn how to make the Nesta Shrug. For supplies, you're going to need some yarn. I'm using a blend of mohair and silk. This is a lightweight yarn, but if you were to create this shrug with a medium weight yarn, it'll turn out nice. You're also going to need a 6mm hook and a 3.5mm hook. You'll need a measuring tape, a pair of scissors, some stitch markers, I'm just using bobby pins, and lastly, a pen and paper. Before you begin, make sure to take these three measurements. The measurement diagram and calculations can be found in the written pattern linked down below in the description. Again, this pattern is 100% free to download. There are calculations for this design, so in order for you to be working with the correct measurements, you must do the calculations that are in the written pattern. To start, we're going to create a slip knot. Tighten it around your hook, but not too tight. I like to leave a little bit of a gap. Now we're going to make a chain that is 7 inches long. So to do this, you're going to bring your yarn over your hook and pull it through the slip knot we just made. That's your first chain. Now yarn over again, pulling through, that's your second. Yarn over, pull through, that's your third. And you're going to keep going and counting until you create a chain that is 7 inches long. When you're measuring your chain, lie it down flat, don't stretch it. Count how many chains you made and write it down. In order to count how many chains you made, flip your chain over so you can see these V-shaped stitches. Each V-shaped stitch is one chain. So for example, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to continue counting until I reach the end of my chain. So for my 7 inches, I made 33 chains. So I'm going to refer back to this later. Yours may be different, just write it down. We'll refer back to this later. At your last V-shaped stitch, you're going to grab a stitch marker and mark it. Now put your 3.5mm hook to the side. You're going to grab your 6mm hook, place it through the loop where your 3.5mm hook was in, and now we're going to chain the length of measurement A. So just like we did previously, yarn over and pull through. yarn over, and pull through. Yarn over, and pull through. And you're going to continue doing this until you reach measurement A. Again, while measuring, make sure to lie your chain down flat. Don't stretch it. Now we're going to switch back to our 3.5 millimeter hook. Place it inside the loop where your 6 millimeter hook was, and we're going to chain the same number of chains we made previously to complete the 7 inches. So for me personally, I made 33 chains, but you're going to chain whatever number you wrote down. So to chain our 7 inches, you're going to yarn over and pull through the loop on your hook. Now before we continue, grab a stitch marker and mark that chain we just made. So this is the chain I just made, so I'm going to stick my stitch marker through. And once your stitch marker is in place, you can continue. Yarn over and pull through the loop, that's 2. Yarn over, pull through, that's 3. Yarn over, pull through, that's 4. And continue making chains until you reach your 7 inches. Once you finish crocheting your 7 inches, you're going to chain 1. This is going to be your turning chain. So to do this, you're going to yarn over and pull through. And now we're going to start working our way back. For row 1, we're going to skip the turning chain we just made and go into the second chain. We're going to go in with a single crochet. So to do this, stick your hook through that second stitch, yarn over, pull through. So you should have 2 loops on your hook. Now you're going to yarn over and pull through both loops. You don't want your yarn to be too tight around your hook. You're not going to get a prettier stitch. It's only going to make things harder for yourself. Finding the next stitch, we're going to stick our hook through, yarn over, pull through. We have 2 loops on our hook, yarn over, and pull through both of them. Now going into our next stitch, hook through, yarn over, pull through the loop. Now you have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through both of them. So as you can see, if I flip this over, we've created 3 single crochets. So here's the first one, the second one, and the third one. You're going to continue making single crochets until you reach the stitch marker, marking your 7 inches mark. So your last single crochet will be into the stitch that has the stitch marker. I'm just at the stitch that has the stitch marker, but I wanted to do this last single crochet with you guys so you could see. So I'm going to stick my hook through the stitch with the stitch marker, yarn over, pull through. So I have 2 loops on my hook, yarn over, and pull through. So now that I've completed my 7 inches, I'm going to remove the stitch marker and I'm going to place it into this last single crochet I just made. This stitch marker is always going to mark the end of the 7 inches mark. I'm going to switch my 3.5 millimeter hook to my 6 millimeter hook. Now we're going to double crochet into the foundation chain. So to do this, we're going to yarn over and stick our hook into the first stitch. My first stitch became kind of small. Once you stick your hook in the stitch, you'll have 1, 2, 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through the first 2. Now you have 2 loops on your hook, so you're going to yarn over and pull through the 2 loops on your hook. This is your first double crochet. Now we're going to yarn over again, and we're going to find our next stitch. You should have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2. You should have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through the 2 loops on your hook. Let's do one more together. So finding the next stitch, we're going to yarn over, stick our hook through it. Now we have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over, pull through the first 2. Now we have 2 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through the 2 loops. I'm going to continue making double crochets all the way until I reach my second stitch marker. So my last double crochet is going to be in this stitch here. I'm not going to double crochet into the stitch that has the stitch marker. I have 1 more stitch left before I reach the stitch marker. So this last stitch before the stitch marker is going to be where I make my last double crochet. So yarn over, hook through that last stitch, yarn over, pull through. Now I have 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So now that I've reached the stitch with the stitch marker, I'm going to swap out my 6mm hook, grab my 3.5mm hook, and start making single crochets again. We're going to go into the stitch with the stitch marker, yarn over, pull through. We have 2 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2. And before we continue, remove the stitch marker and place it into the stitch we just created. We're going to keep our stitch marker here just like we did on the other side to always remember where our 7 inches mark starts and ends. Finding the next stitch, hook through, yarn over, pull through. You have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. Finding the next stitch, going through it, yarn over, pull through. You have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. And you're going to continue making single crochets all the way until you reach the end of the row. I have 1 more stitch before I complete the row, but I wanted to do it with you. And once that last single crochet is completed, I'm going to chain 1. This is going to be my turning chain, and turn over my work. For row 2, you're going to skip the turning chain you made and go into the second stitch here. Now we're not going to go into the full stitch, we're only going to go into the back loop. So if you look at these V's, this loop here is the front one, and this loop here is the back one. So going into that second stitch, so skipping the turning chain, finding the next stitch, we're going to stick our hook through the back loop only and continue on with our single crochet. So yarn over, hook through, yarn over, pull through 2. Now we're going to find the next stitch, hook through the back loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Finding the next one, hook through the back loop only, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. And let's do 1 more together. Finding the back loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. So now you're going to continue making single crochets in the back loop only all the way until you reach your stitch marker. So your last single crochet in the back loop only is going to be in the stitch with the stitch marker. I've reached the stitch with the stitch marker, so I wanted to do this one with you guys. I'm going to stick my hook through the back loop of that stitch and complete my single crochet. And once I've completed my last single crochet, I'm going to remove the stitch marker and place it into the last single crochet I made. This stitch marker is going to ensure you're making the same amount of single crochets each time. So if I were to count all of the single crochets in row 2, it should match the number of chains I wrote down for my 7 inches. Now you're going to switch out your 3.5mm hook for your 6mm hook, and we're going to continue making our double crochets. Now, instead of going into the back loop only, we're going to go into the full stitch. So to do this, yarn over, hook through the full stitch. So as you can see, if I separate the stitch, I've gone through both the front loop and the back loop. So continuing on, yarn over, pulling through one loop. Now we have 3 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Let's try again with the next one. So yarn over, going through the full stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Let's do one more together. Yarn over, through the full stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So we're going to continue making double crochets all the way until we reach our second stitch marker. I have one more stitch before I reach the stitch marker, so my last double crochet is going to be in this stitch here. We're not going to double crochet into the stitch with the stitch marker. So I'm going to finish off my last double crochet. And now I'm going to swap out my 6mm hook for my 3.5mm hook. And now we're going to start single crocheting in the back loop only once again. So finding the stitch with the stitch marker and going into the back loop only, I'm going to yarn over, pull through. Now I have 2 loops on my hook, yarn over and pull through. And before I continue, I'm going to remove the stitch marker and I'm going to place it into the single crochet we just made. Now we're going to continue. Finding the next stitch, going into the back loop only, yarn over, pull through. Now we have 2 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2. Now finding the next stitch, going into the back loop only, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. And we're going to continue making single crochets in the back loop only all the way until we reach the end of the row. I have one more stitch to crochet into before I complete the round, so I'm going to complete my last single crochet with you. And now I'm going to chain 1 and turn over my work. You're going to continue repeating row 2 until your wrist cuff is the width of measurement B. I'm just completing my chain 1 at the end of my last row. Now, once your wrist cuff is the length of measurement B with stretch, we're going to grab our stitch markers and mark the amount of chains that made up our 7 inches on the other side of our wrist cuff, just so everything lines up nicely. So as you can see, both sides of my wrist cuff are marked with a stitch marker. Now I'm going to repeat this on the other side. Now that the 7 inches mark is marked on both sides of our wrist cuff, we're going to join our 2 stitch markers together, grab another stitch marker, and mark the stitches with the stitch marker together. Repeat this on the other side. Now that both wrist cuffs are connected with stitch markers, fold your shrug in half and make sure everything is lying down nice and flat. Grab your measuring tape, use a stitch marker to mark measurement C on your shrug. So I'm going to use my stitch marker to pin both sides of my shrug. Now I'm going to repeat this on the other side. Now use any extra stitch markers to pin together the edge of your sleeves. Now we're going to try on our shrug. Because measuring on myself is very challenging, I'm going to be using my dress form Selena to be helping me out with this. She's currently modeling a vest I'm working on, but this isn't going to be coming out until 2026. Basically, I'm trying to figure out where I want the armhole to start so that it's not pinching the armpit. I ended up making my armhole a little bit bigger If you did end up moving the position of the start of your armhole, use your measuring tape to measure from the 7 inches mark up to the new beginning of your armhole and replicate that measurement on the other side. Now you're going to grab your yarn right after the last chain 1 you did, and you're going to measure a piece of yarn that is just over double the length of the beginning of your shrug to where you want your armhole to be. Cut your yarn and pull your yarn all the way through that last chain 1 and give it a little bit of a tug to secure it. Grab the end of your tail of yarn and use it to thread your tapestry needle. Make sure your shrug is folded in half horizontally and lying down flat. You're going to find the first stitch on the left side and stick your tapestry needle through it. Pull through, but make sure to leave a tiny loop. Now we're going to take our tapestry needle and thread it through this tiny loop. And we're going to tighten to secure our project. Now finding the first stitch on the right side, sticking our tapestry needle through it, we're going to pull through all the way. Now we're going to find the next stitch on the left side, and we're going to stick our tapestry needle through it, pull through, and now finding our next stitch on the right side, sticking our tapestry needle through it, and pull through. So you're going to sew all along the edge up until you reach the stitch marker, marking the beginning of your armhole. I just reached my armhole mark, so I'm going to remove the stitch marker. And now to secure my project, I'm going to go back through that last stitch I sewed into. And I'm going to leave a small loop just like I did at the beginning. Now I'm going to take my tapestry needle and stick it through the small loop and pull through to secure. And just so I feel extra certain that this project is not going to come apart, I'm going to repeat this one more time. So going in through the stitch on the left side, leaving a small loop, sticking my tapestry needle through it, and pulling through. Now I have no doubt everything is going to stay. Now repeat this sewing process on the other side of your shrug to complete your project. Once you've done that, all that's left to do is weave in your ends. Congratulations! Your Nesta Shrug is officially complete. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please make sure to give it a like. It is the best way to support the work I do for free. Speaking of free, if you downloaded the free written pattern that went along with this design, I would really appreciate it if you left a review on my website. If you don't want to miss out on any of my future romantasy book inspired crochet designs, I highly recommend you subscribe because there are so many coming. You don't want to miss out. If you end up sharing photos and videos of your Nesta Shrug on social media, please tag me at Cassandra X Paz. I would love to see how your Nesta Shrug turns out. I had so much fun creating and sharing this design with you guys, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Bye!